Over 2 months ago, we started our Dolphins Talk Military Fan of the Year contest, where we gave an opportunity to current military service members and retired service members who are fans of the Miami Dolphins a chance to win tickets to any Miami Dolphins home game this year at Hard Rock Stadium. We offer 2 tickets, a parking pass, and money for food and or apparel as the prize. The response we got was tremendous, and we thank everyone for sending in a submission.
This was so great this year, Mike. We're going to have to do it again next year.
Absolutely. It will be something we do each and every year now. When we first announced this contest, we had the intention of giving away just 1 set of tickets to 1 game. But with a special thanks to veteran and firefighter Michael Garrity of South Florida, we are now able to give away 3 sets of tickets and pick 3 winners. Also, I want to give a special thanks to Jason Jenkins and everyone with the Miami Dolphins organization who is throwing in a very special salute to service goodie bag for each of the 3 winners, and also 2 of our winners will be honored at the game. They are going to, and they will be recognized as the Salute of the Game winners, where the Miami Dolphins honor a different military member each game. I had the opportunity to chat with each of our 3 prize winners and surprise them with the good news that they had won and they were going to a Miami Dolphins home game this season. Here's how they reacted. Joining me now is George Reed Jr., who is a combat veteran in the United States Marines between 1999 and 2007. George, how are you doing today?
Mike, I'm doing fantastic. It's been a long, hard day at work, but what day isn't a long, hard day at work? So
Exactly.
Go ahead, sorry.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So first thing I wanted to ask you was you were in the Marines. Why the Marines? Why the Marines over the Army, the Navy, and all that stuff?
Well, it's actually a funny story. My dad served in the Army. When I graduated high school, small town I'm in, there's really not a whole lot going on. And so I wanted to get out of town and go do something different. So I went to the recruiter station to enlist in the Army. I figured my dad did. I'll follow in his footsteps. Got there, and the Army guy wasn't there, but the Marine Corps recruiter was. So I sat down, talked to him, and he gave me their whole spiel. And then he told me to go talk to the Army. And he told me everything the Army guy was going to say before the Army guy could say. So I went and talked to the Army guy. The Marine guy was 100% correct. And so, I mean, I just went with the Marine guy. He nailed it. So I went with the Marines, and very happy that I did. I get to roast my little brother and my cousin, who are both in the Army active duty right now. So I'm the only oddball in the family that chose the Marine Corps.
Awesome. And where did you serve when you were in the Marines? Where were you stationed and stuff?
I was stationed in California, Camp Pendleton. I was with the 3rd Marine Division, amphibious assault vehicle crewman. Basically, it's an Amtrak. If you go to Google and you look up amphibious assault vehicle, it's like a small tank, but it can go on land and water. So like they drive off the back of a boat, they submerge, they come up, you can drive them on the water right onto the shore, hit a switch, and you can drive on land. It's an infantry personnel carrier. You can carry like 36 combat Marines in the back, which is what basically I did when I was over in Iraq.
Awesome. That's awesome. Now, when you sent in your submission, you mentioned that since you've been out of the military, you're very much involved with the Toys for Tots program down there in Florida. Tell people what you've done with the Toys for Tots program and how much money you've raised.
All right. So for the last 4 or 5 years, I've gotten more and more involved with our local Toys for Tots program. Within the last 4 or 5 years, we've raised a total of a little over $25,000 for Toys for Tots. Last year, even though it was a pandemic year, we raised more money last year than we had any year prior. We raised just a little over $11,200. And what we do with that is I create a whole bunch of fantasy football leagues, and I go out, I buy memorabilia from Pristine Auction, and like we'll say I've got a Saquon Barkley jersey, and I'll say, okay, for $75, you can join this fantasy football league. And what I'll do is I'll take the league fees that everybody donates, and I go out at Christmas time and I buy toys for Tots with it. So 100% of everything that is given to us for the Toys for Tots goes to Toys for Tots. We don't use that money to purchase jerseys. We don't use it for rental vehicles because at this point, every year now we have to rent a U-Haul. So it's just one of those things where, we have I say we, it's myself and a friend of mine, Jason, who are the two head people that had started this and headline it and do all the work every year. And it's just, something we stumbled into. It was an idea I had, a while ago, and I asked him if he wanted to do something, and he said, yeah, and we just kind of snowballed it into what it's become.
That's awesome. That's a lot of money for a great program, Toys for Tots. So outstanding work there, George. And I do want to say we have some exciting news. You are one of our 3 winners who will be going to a Miami Dolphins game this year. The game will be October 24th against the Atlanta Falcons, which is a special game because that's the game I am flying down for, and I will be at that game as well. So October 24th against the Atlanta Falcons, you and a guest will get 2 tickets to the game. You're going to get a parking pass. You're going to get a Visa gift card with some money. But on top of that, the Miami Dolphins organization is going to honor you as the Salute the Game winner, as the military member of the game. And they're also going to get to you a little bit of a swag bag of some, hats or shirts and stuff like that. So you're one of our 3 winners. And October 24th, when the Dolphins face the Atlanta Falcons, you will be there.
I'm not speechless very often, Mike, but are you serious?
I'm dead serious. You will. Wow. You are one of our 3 winners. When you sent in your submission, what you sent in back on August 4th, as I look at the email here, the Toys for Tots thing and everything, it really blew me away. And at first, when we had this, we were only going to send 1 person to a game. The fact we were able to send 3, you were absolutely. We're going to be one of those 3 because that's just a great story. And I'm so happy for all the work you do in the community with Toys for Tots, and also thankful for your service to this great country from 1999 to 07. And we are more than happy to send you to the Miami Dolphins Atlanta Falcons game with 2 free tickets, with a parking pass, some money, and the Miami Dolphins are going to throw in their stuff as well.
I am. Thank you. I don't have words right now. It's going to take me a minute to process this. You didn't tell me this beforehand. I'm kind of
I wanted to surprise you.
Well, needless to say, I am definitely surprised. Wow, this is amazing. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Well, thank you. Thank you for everything you've done in the community and for our country. And congratulations again. And I will send you all the info that actually we have to talk here after we stop recording, and I'll send you some information and we will work out everything. But congratulations, George Reed Jr. You are one of our 3 winners going to the Miami Dolphins Atlanta Falcons game on October 24th.
I cannot wait. Thank you so much.
Joining me here is Ryan Scavuzzo, who is a technical sergeant in the U.S. Air Force stationed in Alaska. Ryan, how are you doing today?
Great, Mike. How are you doing?
Awesome. So why don't you tell everyone what a technical sergeant in the Air Force does?
So technical sergeant, kind of just like the rank sounds, right? We're technical experts in our career field. I am a crew chief on an F-16. It's the only airplane I've ever worked. I've been in 10 years. The way I like to tell people is, like, imagine if you bring your car to your dealership, right? And they got a guy that works on it. He works on the electrical, the oil, the coolant, the engine, everything that you can imagine. That's basically what we are as crew chiefs. We're the jack of all trades for the F-16, pretty much any aircraft that's in the Air Force. I've just been fortunate enough to only be on that one specifically. So, yeah, it's been a wild ride for the last 10 years.
And you've been in there for 10 years, like you said. How much longer are you think you're going to that you will be in the Air Force?
I'm going to ride it out until 20. I joined, like I said, 10 years ago with the intention of doing 20 years. This enlistment for me ends in it's 2021. So another 2.5 years it ends for me, but I'm going to re-enlist until my 20. So a little over 9 years left. So, yeah.
Yeah, and how's life up there in Alaska? What's that like?
Very different, obviously, than South Florida. This is not the first base I've been at, obviously, since leaving Florida. I have been in other cold environments, but this is by far the coldest I've ever been. Just for an example, the coldest we got to last year was about -40 Fahrenheit, which still was pretty mild for up here from what I've been told. But before that, being in Japan, Korea, I've seen snow. Nothing more than 15 or 10 degrees above zero. So the negative 40 by far, yeah, it'll get to you pretty quick.
Yeah, absolutely. And with your submission, you mentioned your father and how he's so important in your life, and how your father was at the very first ever Miami Dolphins home game back in 1966, and you know how he went, and he was also at the 1985 game against the Bears on Monday Night Football. Obviously, that historic game. Just and how you went to games with him as a child. Tell me about that relationship and bond you have with your father.
Yeah, so my dad and I'm an only child. Growing up, my dad worked at a country club in Fort Lauderdale as a tennis instructor, and just being able to go around him playing tennis and golf, one of my big passions is playing golf, and I was able to do that because of him. And, you know, we're best friends by far, still to this day. You know, he was born in New York, actually in Brooklyn, moved to Miami when he was 6. 6 years later, the Dolphins became a team. And like I said in the submission, yeah, he was a big Dolphins fan. He actually graduated from Miami Norland, which is obviously very close to the stadium now, Miami Gardens. But he graduated that high school in '72, the year they went undefeated. So,
oh, that's awesome.
You know, I remember when I was graduating high school, you know, back in 2011, I graduated, and very different circumstances for the Dolphins from when I graduated to when he did. But yeah,
absolutely. Well, Ryan, we got some exciting news, because you are one of our 3 winners who will be going to a Miami Dolphins game this year on October 3rd when they play the Indianapolis Colts, which I know is a special weekend for you because that's the weekend of your father's birthday. And you said in your submission you wanted to bring your father to the game. So you will be going to the game against the Indianapolis Colts. You'll be getting a parking pass right from the Miami Dolphins themselves. You'll also get a Visa gift card from us here at the site to spend some money on food, or you want to buy shirts, hats, all that good stuff. Whatever you want to spend it on, you can. And also, the Miami Dolphins organization is going to be honoring you as their military salute of the game person for this game. And they will also be giving you a little bit of a swag bag with some, you know, hats and shirts and whatever, a little bit of a goodie bag as well. So congratulations, Ryan. You will be going to the Indianapolis Colts game, Hard Rock Stadium, October 3rd.
Oh my God. Thank you, Mike. That's unbelievable. And something I think I mentioned it in there. I'm not posting anything about this podcast. I'm going to try to surprise them. I just put in my leave today, actually. So my wife and I will be flying down from here down to Fort Lauderdale, trying to surprise my mom and my dad. So that's going to be amazing.
That's awesome. Absolutely. And thank you for your service to our country. And, you know, you're a great fan of the Dolphins, and your father, you know, he's been around since day one. So I hope this weekend is fun for him as well. Joining me is Tom Henry, one of our entrants who sent in a submission to our Military Fan of the Year contest. Tom, how are you doing this morning?
I'm doing great. How you doing?
I am doing outstanding. So why don't you tell the people a little bit about your story? When you sent in your submission, you said you joined the Navy right out of high school. Tell us how you got into the Navy and some of the things you did while you were in the Navy.
Yeah, so when I was growing up, I was just a little keys kid, never lift the keys much, and then decided to do something when I got out, so I joined the Navy. And then I went up, I remember them bringing me up to MEPS for Miami at the time was like a huge deal and everything, and then they flew me up to Great Lakes, Illinois, and I went to boot camp up there. After boot camp, I went down to A school to be an operations specialist down in Virginia. And then I went through that school and everything, and then I got sent to my first ship, the USS Nimitz. So when they flew me out to my ship was actually out. So I got to fly by P3 out onto the plane. So the aircraft carrier was out there, and I actually got to laying on the hook and everything, and that was like really excited, being like a young kid like I was and everything. It's like I've never done nothing like that. So like as we were in the flight pattern going around, they actually opened up the back of the P3, and we were making paper airplanes out of newspaper and throw them as hard as we could to get past the air barrier, and then they would fly down. And then as we were landing, it's like, since the ship's rocking, the plane had to rock with it, and I was facing backwards, and then you catch that wire, and you're like, wow, man.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, so then I was on the Nimitz for I don't know, about 5 years, because we did a world cruise. We left San Diego. We went all the way around the long way, and then we ended up in Virginia. So I went to ports all around the world during that time, and then I ended up in Virginia. And then I was in Virginia. We were in the yards for a few years, and then 9/11 happened when I was in between ships. I went to the Saipan after that. It's a big deck LHA. They have Cobras and Harriers on there, and that's like the Marine landing craft come off of that. So when I was on the Saipan, 9/11 happened, and then that got moved up 6 months. So then I went out to war for 6 months in the Gulf, came back, went to shore duty to Wallops Island, Virginia, and then that was basically the end of my career in a short.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, and you said you are a huge fan of the Dolphins, but you haven't been to a home game in a few years. Why don't you talk about just being a fan of the team?
oh, I'm a great fan of the team. It's like, I don't know if you ever heard of a game called Clash of Clans,
No, I haven't.
but it's an app game, and there's a bunch of us. It's a Miami Dolphins clan on there. Like, we've been playing together for like 10, 11 years, something like that. All of us grown men playing a little kids game with the Miami Dolphins flag all the time. I've been to games recently because I just moved back to Florida from Wisconsin. So I went to the Miami Green Bay game in Lambeau. And then before that, I went to the Miami and Kansas City Chiefs game at the Chiefs. That was like December 23rd or 24th, something like that. That game was freezing.
Yeah.
And then we went to the preseason game against Minnesota in Minnesota. But it's been a long time since I actually been to a Dolphins game. I think I was in high school the last time I did.
Yeah.
It was still Joe Robbie Stadium at the time.
Yeah, they've gone through a few name changes. Well, Tom, we got some exciting news at all the entrants. Congratulations. You are one of our 3 winners, and you will be going on December 5th when the Miami Dolphins play the Giants at Hard Rock Stadium. You're going to be going with someone of your choosing. We're going to give you a parking pass. We're going to give you 2 seats to the game and a Visa gift card there for some money for food or apparel. And also the Miami Dolphins are going to throw in a little bit of a package with some, hats and gear and stuff like that. So congratulations, Tom. You're going to when the Miami Dolphins play the Giants this season.
Oh, wow. Thank you. That's great.
Absolutely. Well, you have
Wow.
served our country right out of high school, which is, that's a while, and you've done some great work, and thank you for your service, and thank you for being a fan, of our website and our show and stuff, and we really appreciate everything. So congratulations. You are one of our 3 winners.
Thank you so much. I've never won anything, to be honest. Like I lose on scratch off lottery tickets. I buy them all the time, and I'm happy if I win 2 bucks.
Well, you won this. You're one of our 3 winners, and congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Be a man.